was a long time ago, but I believe that I was a bit of a tearaway, and my dad sort of directed me to go and do some martial arts or something to give me a bit of discipline. I can't say as I had any sort of inspiration as such, apart from the guy I was training with, Paul Simpson, and he started a little bit after me, and then we started training together, and that was it. We just sort of like a competition of who could get better, faster, quicker, and all the rest of it. I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu in total 30 years this year. I won, when I was a black belt, I won 5 open championships in Andover, which is basically any martial art. I won those 5 in a row. And last year I just won the World Championship in Las Vegas in Sport Jiu-Jitsu. In the Jiu-Jitsu side of it, it's you gain points by striking to the head or the body with your hands or your feet, so it's kicking and punching to the body or the head. You then get, once somebody takes hold, obviously we're wearing gis, when somebody takes hold you've got about 10 seconds to take them to the floor. If not, you then break and start again, standing, kicking and punching. So it's got the sort of taekwondo, kickboxing, stand up. Mixed martial arts, again, you're kicking and striking head and body and legs, you're throwing, but it's slightly different because you haven't got a gi to grab hold of. And again, on the ground you've got strikes, and it depends on what level you're fighting, strikes to the head of the body, arm lock, strangles, all the other things. The main difference really again is down to the different types of strangle. On the MMA side it's sort of rear naked choke stuff, whereas with a gi you can do front strangles a lot easier. It's a bit like everything else switches off. All the stress of getting there, all the training, all the work, all the things that are going on in your mind, you know, everything just switches off. You've got to focus because somebody's trying to pound your face in. So yeah, the adrenaline starts running, all the aches and pains disappear. It's well, I don't know, it's equivalent, to me it's equivalent of bungee jumping or whatever, you know. The high is amazing because of the adrenaline you get. They're very popular. MMA is growing rapidly, very, very rapidly. We tend to follow the USA by about 10 years roughly, and in the USA last year MMA grew by about 106% just in the 1 year. So it's going to grow massively in the UK in the next 5 or 10 years. It's probably going to overtake pretty much everything else out there. Martial arts obviously do promote fighting. I mean, that's the whole point of it. That's what people are training for. It's a martial being war. It's a war art, so it's you're training to fight. But does that promote fighting outside of the club? No, actually, it's the complete opposite. It calms people down because they get rid of their adrenaline and their aggression and everything else while they're training and while they're competing. Most of the guys, like I say, who come from the street, who are aggressive, you know, street fighters, after training with us for 6 months or a year, are completely opposite. They don't want to get involved on the street. They'd rather walk away. You know, I'm not interested. You know, they're far more interested in the sport and competing professionally than they are fighting on the street. I teach basically 2 types of jiu-jitsu. One is it's called Goshin Jiu-Jitsu, which is Goshin means to protect yourself. So it's a self-protection martial art. And then I also teach Sport Jiu-Jitsu, which is along the same lines, but it's more of it's a sport, as it says, so you're not actually sort of breaking bones and dislocating people. Then I also teach mixed martial arts, which is very similar to Jiu-Jitsu, but without a jacket, a gi, as it were. The club that I started about 10 years ago, when I left my teacher, it's called Goshin Jiu-Jitsu Ryu, which means Goshin means self-protection, Jiu-Jitsu is flexible martial art, and the Ryu means school, and Andover MMA, which is the mixed martial arts side of it. We've been going 10 years, we've got 9 instructors, some of them are pro cage fighters, like Alexi, he takes a lot of the MMA stuff. Yeah, they've been with me a long time, we train really hard. I mean, we don't go sort of blowing our own trumpet and, you know, raving about it, but we get a lot of guys who come down off of the street You know, they're street fighters and they're in lots of trouble. They come down, you know, with a lot of attitude and a lot of ego, and we beat it out of them. No, we train them. We train them to control it, because all that anger and aggression in a fight is actually the way you lose, because you're not controlled, and there's a lot of control and a lot of mind strength involved in actually controlling yourself and directing what you're going to do. So we get a lot of guys. We've had quite a few, you know, who've come off the street, been really bad people, and they've come in and they've turned their lives around. So yeah, in the background we're changing people's lives. Challenging, physical, mental, rewarding, definitely rewarding. I mean, it's just amazing. Once you get into it, you can get so much out of it. It's something I've just been doing for so long now, it's like a habit. So yeah, I just can't see myself not doing it.